format and issue a GST invoice to everybody. There is no issue in that. Now we come to the important topic of on what value do we pay the tax. So in case of sale of goods, so it is very clear whatever is my sale value, उसके ऊपर GST लगेगा. Sale value will also include freight and such other incidental expenses which I am recovering from my customer. अगर below sale price, if I am adding certain amounts like packing charges, some transportation, loading, unloading, then my sale value is total sale value which I am charging to my customer. Similar is for services provided also. If I am providing service, on the value of service I have to pay tax. Now comes the point on stock transfer. Somebody asked the question on what should be the value for stock transfers. So in the draft rules, valuation rules which they have released, they have said कि stock transfer should be valued at open market value. So they have introduced the concept of open market value. Open market value का meaning क्या होता है कि suppose आज मैं stock transfer कर रहा हूँ, then if I had sold the same goods to a third party, what value would I have charged? मतलब वो product का आज market value क्या है, वही value पे मुझे stock transfer करना है और वही value पे IGST pay करना है. So that is the valuation rule for stock transfers. Similarly, suppose I am having any transactions with a related party, group company है, related party है, तो suppose I sell at a concessional price. So they say that even if you are selling at a lower price, you have to pay GST on the market value. मतलब suppose अभी मेरा कोई group company है, I am selling goods to him of 100 rupees, but since he is my related party, I may charge him 80 rupees. Okay, still I have to pay GST on 100 rupees. So valuation for related parties is this. Also, any goods given to employees, suppose आपके employees है, you give them some products at a discounted price, scheme चला के 20%, 30% discount. Employees are also treated as related persons of the company. So any discounts or any lower price charged to the employees is also, I mean, उसपे भी GST should be paid on market value, not on the discounted price. Import of goods we discuss, assessable value के ऊपर जो basic customs duty लगता है, on that value IGST will be applicable. Supply of goods to unrelated person without consideration. Free, basically free. Suppose I am giving anything free to anybody, to a third person, मतलब किसी third person को मैंने कुछ उठा के free दे दिया, there is no GST applicable. So suppose I am giving anything free of cost to a third party, there is no GST applicable because supply का जो definition है under the GST law, it only covers supply which is for a consideration. So if there is no consideration, there is no GST. The only exception is that if I am supplying to my own depot or if I am supplying to a related person, I have to pay GST even if there is no money coming in. But if it's to a third party, any sale which is made to a third party where I am not charging FOC, free of cost, there is no GST payable. But there are certain input tax credit implications which I will discuss. Actual value, that will come here, first box. Sale of goods to unrelated party, whatever is the transaction value, you have to pay GST on that. Suppose you have given some discount to a customer in the normal course of business, दे दिया, you don't have to pay on market value, you have to pay on the actual amount that you are recovering if he is an unrelated customer. Yeah. Value will be whatever you are charging to the customer. So suppose
no. What I meant to say is earlier, under VAT this clause was not there. So there is a confusing section in this, the valuation. See, if you are, the product is priced say something around 5,000 rupees generally, but in a festival season, to promote the product sales, they have added another 20% extra on the product. Instead of 100 gram or 500 gram, they have given 100 gram extra.
But you are still charging 5,000 rupees.
Yeah.
For the extra also.
Yeah, but what the concept says, the explanation he has given is that, the extra product which we are giving free should be treated at market value. If that should be priced and it should be charged at 6,000 rupees, not 5,000 rupees, and the tax should be calculated on that amount.
This is to unrelated person?
No, this is the customers only, no? We are.
Yeah. So let me clarify that in that case GST will be only on the actual amount charged to the customer, not on 6,000.
What he says is, see, there is a section, you have to charge the tax on the 6,000, not on 5,000.
Can you read the section which is there with you?
Yeah, it's there. It's value of
say section 15, value of supply.
Yeah, they have given the explanation, but it is purely relevant to our FMCG because most of the schemes are operated in such a way.
You can share the exact provision with me, I can answer that. But I can tell you very clearly, any sale made to a customer where you are giving 20% extra, 30% extra, GST is payable on the actual value that you are.
Even in exchange rates also. Even if it is a sale of exchange. Sale of exchange, actually the product is at 10,000 rupees we are selling. But if you give the return the old product.
That is barter, you mean?
Yeah. And we will be selling at 8,000 rupees. Then what he says is, you have to treat it as 10,000 only.
That is a different transaction, sir. You said 20% extra. If you give
that is also one explanation.
20% extra, if you have any explanation, please share it with me. I'll be happy to know. But we have thoroughly read the GST law. This is coming out very clearly that in case of sale where there is 20% extra, whatever is the actual value charged, on that you have to pay GST.
I'll bring to your notice.
Sure. We can connect after this session.
What about the consumer promotion? X item is free on Y item.
Consumer promotion meaning you are giving buy one get one free kind of.
Yeah, buy one get one free.
Buy one get one free, right? Buy 5 get 1 free. Product A ke saath product B free. Those kind of consumer offers. Basically.
Yeah.
Consumer offers again. You are charging only. Suppose you are giving a product of 100 rupees. उसके साथ 30 rupees का product free दे दिया.
Correct.
But you are charging only 100 rupees. In that case, you have to pay GST on 100. उसमें एक implication हो सकता है on input tax, but which we'll discuss separately. But one thing we can clarify that value on which you have to pay GST is the actual value you recover from the customer. Suppose exchange offer है, that's a different situation. Exchange offer मतलब क्या होता है कि आपने phone बेच दिया and you take the old phone in exchange. So you are charging an exchange price. Suppose the value of the phone is 30,000 rupees, but in exchange you are getting the old phone and you are charging 25,000. So in that case, it could be 30,000 because the value is actually 30,000 only. आपने सिर्फ वो exchange में ले लिया, that's why आपने reduce कर दिया. But suppose आपने ऐसे ही एक product पे एक product free दे दिया, that is on the actual value.
तो मतलब इसमें तो काफी बड़ा फ्लॉ है वैसे तो. 100 रुपीस पे 30 रुपीस का फ्री दिया, इट मीन्स 30 रुपीस तो सीधा वो प्रॉफिट में आ गया वो तो.
हाँ, प्रॉफिट वो तो आज भी है ना. आज भी आप कहाँ पे करते हो वैट? Are you paying VAT on 30 rupees?
Anybody can play a flaw in it. मतलब कुछ भी कर सकते.
That is happening. That is a practice which is being done since so many years, and under law it is allowed.
On that 30 rupees, we have already taken input credit, I suppose. If a company is billing 100 rupees product and 30 rupees product, both the products.
Correct.
Okay, and when at the time of sales, we give 30 rupees product free of cost.
Right.
So our input credit will increase. Like input credit will be more than the output credit.
Yes.
So in that case, anyways, we are not getting any refund sort of thing in GST, right?
Yeah.
And one more question. While delivering the products, see in FMCG basically we deliver goods to all the shops.
Yeah.
So per invoice we have to calculate the freight charges. Right now we are not adding freight charges basically. It is like we are getting freight charges in margins.
So it is inbuilt in the price.
Yes.
Okay.
So do we need to that freight charges should be calculated while making the invoice.
Or we have to mention it differently.
Yeah, we have to mention it differently on the invoice.
No, you can continue with your current practice of having a price which includes the freight amount. There is no issue on that. In fact, even if you show freight separately, saying that I am going to deliver it to my customer at his store, at his doorstep, and whatever is the freight I am going to recover from him as a part of my invoice. So either you can show it as a breakup in the invoice, or you can show a lump sum price, no issues. You have to pay GST on the full value that you are charging to the customer, which you are selling a product.
Company is invoicing say at X rate and I am selling at Y rate, that gives 200 rupees discount. Y rate and X rate difference is 200 per box.
Correct.
So then it will attract GST or not?
So you are selling different prices. One product you are selling at
The same product I am selling, see suppose I am giving
different
200.
prices. एक कस्टमर को ज़्यादा वैल्यू चार्ज किया, दूसरे कस्टमर को डिस्काउंट दे दिया. That is your question ना?
सभी को भी दिया या तो एक को ही दिया या 200 रुपया दे दिया, तो 200 रुपया is near about below my purchase price.
Correct. So if any discount is given on the invoice itself, आपने price ही कम कर दिया on the invoice, value less discount net value, GST is payable on the net value, whatever is the price charged to the customer. And this I am saying आपका customer मतलब he is a third party, it is not your. Even if you are selling at a loss, you have to pay GST on the actual value. Okay. If you are giving it free. Yeah, sorry. What about input tax credit? So today, under many VAT state laws, there is a provision that if you are selling below cost, तो आपको input tax credit नहीं मिलेगा. Delhi has this, Karnataka has this. So some states have this provision. There is no such provision under GST law which says that if you are selling below.
For example, good products. If they are expiring, we are selling on below purchase. In that case, not.
Yeah, that is what I am answering. That if you are selling below cost, there is no restriction under GST law. जो भी whatever is your actual selling price, you pay GST on that, and there is no restriction on the input tax credit.
And the difference, the amount of the difference, what is there, actual amount, it is coming by way of the credit note. That is a other source for income.
Credit note is a different transaction, sir.
If suppose that there is a difference.
Credit note is a post-sale discount which you are giving to your customer.
If suppose I am giving discount and it is given by the company by way of credit note, then what will happen?
For example, display payments is telling display.
Yeah.
I will
Payment credit note, there are multiple questions being asked. I can answer one question at a time.
excuse me, there are 30 slides. We are at slide number 8. I will request everybody to keep the questions with them. They should write down the question on the pad, and after this session closes, we will take all the questions. So I will request everybody to look at the total PPT because there are 30 slides and we have other programs also lined up. We are already late by 1 hour. I will request to hold on the questions and write down on the pad. Thank you.
Yeah. So input tax credit, I will take specific questions, but let me at least cover the generic stuff first, the important stuff. Any goods that you are buying for business purposes, any goods or services that you are buying for business purposes, you will get a credit. If you buy any goods or services which are for non-business purposes, you will not get credit. Matlab any goods bought for personal use, consumption, no input tax credit available. Purchase of goods which are outside GST. So there are some products जिसपे GST नहीं लगने वाला है. One is alcohol, liquor, petrol, diesel, and some specified petroleum products like natural gas. When you buy them, there is no GST applicable, but on those products, VAT excise will continue. So you will not get input tax credit on those goods. Yeah. There are certain goods which are in the negative list. Negative list meaning you will never get credit on some 4-5 types of purchases. One of them is civil construction, which we discussed few minutes back. You will not get credit. Goods which are purchased by a composition scheme dealer. suppose any person goes under composition scheme, he will not get input tax credit. And goods or services which are bought by a unregistered person. Suppose any person who is not registered under GST, and if he buys some goods, he will not get input tax credit. Yeah? These are some purchases where which are in the negative list. मतलब इस पे क्रेडिट हम लोग को कभी नहीं मिलेगा. ये क्या है? फर्स्ट इज सिविल कंस्ट्रक्शन, सेकेंड इज मोटर व्हीकल्स. इफ यू परचेज मोटर व्हीकल्स और एनी रेंट अ कैब रिलेटेड सर्विसेज विच यू रिसीव, यू विल नॉट गेट क्रेडिट. Restaurant and food bills are not eligible for credit, even if it is for a business purpose, any expenses incurred. Food bills are not eligible for input tax credit. Any other personal services like beauty treatment, etc., etc. Rent a cab we discussed. Life insurance or health insurance of employees or self, input tax credit is not available. Now last 2 points are important. These 2 boxes नीचे वाला. One is that free samples. So suppose आपने कोई free sample दे दिया किसी को. Free sample meaning I am not saying that buy one get one free kind of offer. Just a free sample which is given to somebody. On that you will not get input tax credit. Meaning whatever you have purchased. Suppose आपने कोई product खरीद के sample करके दे दिया. Whatever GST you have paid on that purchase, you will not get a input tax credit. Also, if the goods are lost, stolen, destroyed, okay, in those cases I will have to reverse my input tax credit. So suppose I have inventory of 100 units but 20 were lost or stolen or destroyed, okay, I have to reverse the input tax credit. Like fire. Yeah, fire and all. Because if it gets destroyed, then I will not be selling those products, so I will not get input tax credit.